Welcome to our second statistics lesson in which we will be finding out information by comparing the content of different graphs and retrieving information by adding or subtracting different data amounts. Okay, I just want to let you know that there is a worksheet that accompanies lesson 2 and it's just in the same place as the remote learning was, but just underneath as an extra attachment. It has all the same information on it, but in a bigger format, so it might be easier for you to look at that rather than the remote learning. All right, let's get started. Okay, let's look at this slide. There are two graphs on it and you need to answer the questions underneath. I'm going to focus on the second graph, on the pictogram, and I want to draw your attention to what it says on top. Length of reign of 1 crown equals 2 years, and that's really important information. It tells us that Aethelstan, who ruled for 7 crowns, ruled for 7 times 2 years. So that means we know that Aethelstan ruled for 14 years in total. Now underneath it says Edmund I, and Edmund seemed to rule for 3.5 crowns. Well, what would half a crown represent? If 1 crown equals 2 years, then half a crown simply amounts to what amount? You know, and you can go on and answer all the questions. Okay, in this bar chart, you have to decide whether the statements are true or false. The hardest part about this particular graph is really having to look very, very carefully at how long each of the bars are and comparing them with the amount of years on the left. William the Conqueror, you can see that his bar ends at 20, but then John's seems to end halfway between two of the lines. So you need to check what this scale is. What does each line represent in terms of periods of time? Right, so the question here is Henry III reigned for 7 years fewer than the longest ruling monarch shown. How long did he reign for? Okay, deceptively simple. Underneath it says, what do you notice? And I'm hoping that what you'll notice is that in order to answer any of these questions, you will have to compare the content of both graphs together. So the information is not in one of the graphs in isolation, but you have to look at both together. Okay, here we've got a table and a pictogram, and you simply need to answer the questions, and it gives you an opportunity to draw your own little crowns in order to answer question 2b. Okay, this bar graph I don't think requires any further explanation. Just read the questions really carefully before you answer them. Make sure you've understood what is being asked. Okay, here's another activity where you need to look at the pictogram and the bar graph together in order to be able to answer the question. And then question 2 says present all the data together as either a bar chart or pictogram on graph paper. Explain why you have chosen to present your data this way. Now, you are very unlikely to have graph paper at home, but it doesn't really matter. If you have squared paper, you can use that, but plain paper will also work. Okay, we're at that point in the video again where you will need to pause it because what's coming up next are all the answers, and you don't want to have a look at the answers before you've had an opportunity to work through the questions on your own. All right, see you in a little while. Okay, have you got your pen ready? Let's go. Okay, how did you do? Do your answers match the ones on the screen? Pause the video if you need more time to compare your answers with the ones on the screen. Okay, well done for getting through lesson 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward to lesson 3. Okay, bye for now.